Good morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time it is, or even middle of the night if you have decided to watch this video at an odd hour or you are just really far away from me. It's update day, and yes, I'm back. We're going to go back to regularly programmed scheduling. Sorry about everything. Had to go home for a wedding, big days, but also really late nights, and I needed a vacation for my vacation this weekend. Oh, that was so nice. But now it is all about update day. So, update 4.4, let's talk about what's in it, and then let's also talk, does it affect the meta with cruisers, because there are some cruiser changes at tier 10. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see if the mic picks up how loud my cats are deciding to be right when I just start recording. Oh, gotta love them, right? New user interface, this is great. I think we need a little bit of a pick-me-up on that. They previously redone the medals area and all this other stuff, but now we're getting the full thing. I like it. Good. That's okay. That's all we can do. I wish we had a little bit more customization to the UI, so maybe we can move the firing button, move stuff around, kind of make it our own, but it might be too PUBG of them. So, new map. This is great. I like new maps being added, especially for high tier and everything like that. I really want them to remove a few maps, or at least a few modes for maps, like Cage Center Control. Please remove it, please. 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 Okay. Next thing up, level boosters for commanders. That's great. I kind of always wondered why there wasn't these in the first place. It seemed like those kind of like just neglected. That's awesome. We're gonna be able to, kind of pile through some of the lower tiers, especially to get to like tier 7, where I think that kind of makes all captains generally competent in there. And I'm talking about like commander skills, not actual us commanders, because at tier 7 no one's competent. Discount coupons. This is gonna be interesting. I'm really waiting to see it. I don't think they're probably gonna be available the first day. I might be wrong, but in my opinion, if these can give us let's say even a 5% discount, that's like not bad. If we can get that like on top of another discount, maybe per se in the store, or especially like free XP and silver discounts and stuff like that. If we could literally shave off 30 to 50,000 off of a tier 10 grind, that would be awesome. That would be great, because that way you can get like that horrible ship, you can get it done just a little bit quicker. You got the occasional tier 9s that are just really bad in randoms. That's gonna be a good one. I like that. Great idea overall for it. Vault, for those who play ranked and event battles and stuff like that, this is gonna kind of help you kind of earn this stuff and get it. Whatever, I don't play those, but we were promised a ship balancing pass, and we definitely did get it. And let's start off tier 5. Pretty much, Kotorsky basically had to get buffed out of the gate because the Kirov is so powerful, where it's the Kirov's historical camo, wargaming. But yeah, this is a thing. It exists. Emerald, it's still an Emerald. It does kind of help it, but it's still a tier 5 Emerald. Furitaka and Alba, I think now they're better gunboats. I think this is going to help them a lot in the grind. This isn't going to make it where like the 5-6 completely suck, and then finally it gets good at the 7, 8, not 9, 10, and like that. Like, kind of getting the lines a little bit closer, making it more of a straight shot up where you feel like you're getting upgraded every time and actually getting a better ship. Where like the 7, I think the Miyoko probably needs a little bit of love. It's kind of aged a little bit, but at the same time, 8's really solid, and it got a buff later in this. We'll talk about that. 9 still needs a buff, and Zhao, I think, is in a decent position for it. Devonshire needs more than that. Black Leander and regular Leander, okay, whatever, it's fine. I think that's good. I'm fine with that. Dallas and Black Dallas, you can paint a pig black, but still big. Haida, awesome for those who like them. This one I was quite surprised on. I thought these were, like, the Strasbourg was already pretty good. So this definitely makes it, I think this makes it more like the Jean Bart, and like that, or more in line of kind of the Ritchie of tier 7. That's not bad. I like it. Then comes the start of the German buffs and such. I think adding secondary overload to a bunch of them is great, and the Gneisenau or Scharnhorst previously got that speed buff, and that was really nice for both of them. Just made them put them in a better position. I think they're in a great position now. The secondary overload, though, I feel like we need to add it to the tier 2 skill and the tier 7 skill to increase its duration and increase the amount you have. I think they need to go through commanders, though I have this feeling that they might be looking at a larger redo in general in commanders, because they have added a lot to the game. Maybe it's time to kind of refresh all of the commanders and such. So to start off with that, not bad. That's going to be fun, especially in Respawn. Z23, this, I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on. I think this is going to be generally good because I think it's going to make a better progression feel from tier 8 to tier 9, because I felt like the 23 to the 46 almost didn't feel like a progression path. It kind of felt a little like, oh cool, I just got a different turret layout pretty much and one extra gun. I know there's probably more to that and everything like that, but at the same time I didn't feel like it was a massive upgrade, where I think now you're gonna get punchier guns, slower firing guns, but at the same time you're gonna have pretty much the same output from what I've heard from certain people. Takao, didn't need it, but I'll take it. Got buffed range by 0.12, which isn't much, but dispersion and penetration on its AP, these things were, like its AP was already pretty good, but now it definitely put it in line where I think the Japanese line is starting to really have good AP and good HE, like not insane AP and weak HE or something like that, or insane HE versus weak AP. I think they're putting it in line together. Maya, this is good. You know, I still think the Takao is a little better, but that's if you're playing with a carrier. Maya is just straight up better because of the AA. Tier 8 bag, they're just trying to compete it and beat it to the MK, which I think is just straight up better than this ship. I hate that this ship is bad because I like the size of the guns on the Donskoy and the Kirov and with that. Though I have heard interesting things about the Talon, about not being particularly good. I'm not looking forward to that grind at all. But we'll talk about that later. So, getting ahead of myself. Tone needs more than just this. Massachusetts, awesome. I know Polecat's going to be excited for this. Or did I screw up? Was that Polecat? It's been a while. Sorry if I know there's someone in my crew that loves that, and I'm maybe missing up. It's okay. This is live. Let's just keep on going. Black Amagi and Amagi classes. This is awesome. I really don't think they really needed. I think the regular Amagi did. Black Amagi already felt more accurate, but whatever. We'll go with that. Back to the Germans. Bismarck, Black Bismarck, got the speed buff and got secondary overload. One skill, once again, beating the dead horse. We needed ability to make it 2 in a game and like that, so we can have multiple brawls in a game. Let us wargaming, please. Fix commander. Turpitz got a buff. That's good. I think Turpitz is still in a very good place, though it is a highly competitive meta at tier 8. Odin's the same exact stick. That's good that they've added it, and they've added overload 2 on those, so it makes it a little bit stronger. Azumo, Black Azumo, cool. That's for the very few of you out there that love the Azumo class, and also kind of makes it a little bit better to pick up the Black Azumo, but I still think that's not worth it for the price. Frederick de Goober, of course, we got buffs, and now we've got the 2 X's on here for the secondary overloads. For that, the Palmerin, and all the way down here, the Goober. I think these are really good buffs, helps them get into battle quicker, and also at the same time, also get up to speed so they can kind of juke some more torpedoes. I think that's really good. Lion, it's still a shotgun, and this wasn't needed. Same thing, I'm just going to skip a few right here. Conqueror, Thunderer, this was like main battery reload. I'll take it for the Thunder. That makes it somewhat worth it. It's still too expensive. Still way too expensive. Conqueror, good. It will be a better shotgun. It's still a shotgun. Setting fire, it really didn't need it. And concealment reduced for a battleship doesn't do much. Those after tier 8, like the Monarch above, they need to have their special heal from PC. I think that's what they need. They just need to have a gimmick. They are really basic, bland, fire starting BBs, and they need that help. They do. It's just they don't have the armor to keep up with everything. But let's go to the fun buffs. Pietro finally got its niche. It's finally got its 360 degree turrets, and that's big. A lot of people are downplaying how they think this is not going to do much, but in my opinion, this helps a lot more than people think. Especially when we saw how powerful 360 degree turrets were in the Daring and Holland lines. That definitely adds up. Nevsky got a buff. Hopefully they fix the bug too on it. I'm going to test that out today, and I'll probably put that up on Instagram if you follow me there. Setting fire increase, I'll take it. Not going to say no to that. That's always helpful. I still feel like they need to buff its maneuverability, but at the same time, it is a long-range fire shooter and AP shooter. I've enjoyed it, but I haven't played it enough, as I just finally got enough blueprints to get it almost to max, and I'm still waiting on 2,000 blueprint crates for a joke video, and it's really pissing me off that I'm having to wait to unlock all this stuff. But no, it'll be worth it for the lulz. Yoshi health buff, good. Torpedo range buff, insanely good. This solidifies it, and I think they did this because of how many people bought the Yoshi and then learned that the Yoshi wasn't for them. If any, who raise your hand right now. Obviously, you don't need to because it's a video. But who went hunting Yoshis when they went on sale? I totally did. Oh man, I got so many cruiser kills for my battle honors for all my tier 10 cruisers. Oh, it was so much fun. It was like a guaranteed at least 2 a game. You could get 1. Knocking those battle honors out. Need that steal. But yeah, I think this puts it in a good place. I think it does. But yeah, that's really the patch notes. A lot of ship rebalancing. That's good. I think that they still are missing the note on the Kremlin. I think they definitely need to bump that entire line. I think they need to look at the Vermont, but I have a feeling they're probably waiting to get a little bit more data upon these buffs for, the Goober and like that, which I don't think will do much, especially at tier 10 when brawling really isn't a thing. Yeah, I think this is a very good update. I think it's basically more in line that we're gonna get some nice things coming in. 1 new map, and like that. But I am looking forward to the new user interface. Could be nice and beautiful. So, but we got 3 cruiser buffs. Let's update the cruiser thing, because that's, I guess, my thing, and everyone's been wondering about all my other thoughts on every other ship, and I'm just like, I have no idea. Alright, let's go over this. This is our last one from here. Let's go over Nevsky first. I think it's right there in solid. I think it just solidifies it in solid. I think it's definitely a solid cruiser. I've played it a few times, especially with its grind also. I think it's an insanely fun grind. You've got the shores, Chupayev, Donskoy, Nevsky. It just keeps getting better and better. Though I will say, if you do like fire starting, Donskoy's not the best at it, but the Nevsky kind of comes back to it. So enjoy throwing some powerful AP around, and that's about it. So Nevsky, definitely good solid. Let's go over Pietro. I want to know everyone else's opinion, but in my opinion, the Pietro has moved to solid, and here's why. Stalingrad can't defend itself. I know you're like, wait, you're talking about the Pietro. No, listen. Stalingrad can't defend itself when it gets close. The Pietro can run and still have full firepower at all times with that 360 degree turret. So now it can probably make up its DPM loss by its crappy fire rate, which that still needs to get buffed. And yes, it has rapid, and like that needs to be removed and placed in for sonar. It needs a way to defend itself and spot DDs and torpedoes earlier for itself. It's too easy to kill. I've run into too many of these, and even though it's got an insanely low water line and everything like that, it just can't defend itself. So, but I put the Stalingrad also there because it also can't defend itself, but it can do an insane amount of damage, and the Pietro actually can do good damage. It just needs a team to defend it. That's where I think it sits. I think that's still a solid position that does kind of borderline niche, and also because of the lower caliber of guns, borderline playable. So just kind of know that barely ekes in the solid in my opinion because of those 360-degree turrets. But once again, now you can turn, run away, and still have full firepower. You're not waiting for the guns to switch sides anymore. Once again, we've seen how powerful that is in other lines, how much that helps ships that we go, well, that's going to be crap, and then all of a sudden they come out and everyone's loving them. So, oh man, yeah. So I think it barely slides in the solid. I think, you know, Wargaming 2 seconds off its reload, or at least 1.5 seconds off its reload. I think that would put it in a really good position. Remove rapid reload, give it sonar, give it the ability to spot torpedoes early and or spot DDs that get too close to it. That way it can keep its DPM going and such, because it's not a burst gun. It's not that it needs to be a DPM machine, and that's exactly what the entire line is about. And also buff the Riga. I've heard it's horrible. Talon, maybe give a few buffs to that too as well, because I've heard some pain and torture from people, like a lot of pain and torture from that. Last one, Yoshi. I think these buffs push it right up in the niche. It definitely moves away from the 2-build idea that I had in its review. It is now a single stealth build. It's an ambusher. And we have multiple ambushers in this class. We have the Zhao, we have the Henry, and now we have the Yoshi. That's in a very good position for it. I feel I kind of was, before, like in a previous recording, I actually was like, it's kind of now a child of Henry and the Zhao. If you kind of think about it, big guns, torpedoes, decent skills, very weak armor. It's kind of like the Henry and the Zhao, baby. I kind of like it. I think it's definitely pushed more into the niche category, and it is definitely more than playable, especially now with that longer range and moving on for a stealth build specifically. So if anyone's looking for a harder hitting Zhao that's got a little bit more health, but yet the same kind of attitude now, Yoshi's now it. And if you didn't buy her when she was $30, that was an insane deal, and such. I think now is the time to try her out again. Just make sure you're not playing with any carriers, pretty much, because it still has, I'd say it still has the team comp problem of the Zhao, but it doesn't have the survivability of the Henry's speed and everything like that. It just now is more ambush capable. I still believe if they buffed the rapid reload to 2 and the precise aim to 2, it would go right into solid, because then it could really output some damage sometimes. But I think it fits its place in niche quite well. So once again, Pietro, barely solid. Nevsky, perfect. I think now in this situation, I think they could buff its maneuverability just a tad bit. Other than that, I think that's great. Yoshi moved up. So this is a new tier list. Hopefully, maybe in the next strip balance, they'll actually go after the Goliath or the Colbert, or maybe give the Puerto Rico some love and some Hindenburg some love. I actually recently heard from Death from Above that he really thinks the Hindenburg's solid or something like that. I would really like to talk to him about that, see exactly why he thinks that. But yeah, other than that, hopefully update 4.4 goes smoothly. Also wanted to add in that there's over 200 of you now. This is getting out of hand. This is getting a lot bigger than I thought it would. Either way, thank you for thinking I deserve a follow and a subscribe and everything like that. The channel's gonna be changing a bit. I'll have more on that in the future. But I will kind of say that Discord is coming. It's I've got a really awesome person helping me out, kind of get everything ready, so it's kind of professional like when it kind of comes down to it. But other than that, there's also going to be other updates and new types of content I'm hoping to do. So we'll see. But wedding season is upon, and also Christmas and Halloween season and like that. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy, but I'm gonna try keeping this momentum up. And thank you all for subbing and joining this fun and seeing where this goes. I really do love y'all. There's over 200 of you, which is impossible to think of in a room right now. It's kind of crazy. I don't think it's that much, and I've even told some friends, and they're just like, "Oh, it's only 200," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's 200. It's just a lot of people." But yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting. Go enjoy the update, and have a good one. Thank you all for join in with me to see where this all lands and goes. It's kind of crazy. Peace.